she's so pretty. Hi there, welcome again to Dove Eyes with Chinwekalu. My name is Chinwekalu and I'm glad to have you with me. Today I'm continuing my series on the God factor in marriage, and I am talking about something else from the book The God Factor in Marriage, which I wrote and published 2 years ago. And at this time I'm trying to bring some life to it to get people to get what it's all about and help you enjoy and learn from it, especially if you're about to get married or you just gotten married. The book is for you. It's part of a series, 5 other books, a 6 series books called Before the Vows, and then we have these 6 books in them. All right, The God Factor is the first one in the series. Okay, so welcome once again. We've had 2 other discussions before this one. The first one talking about God being the originator of marriage. The second one talking about covenants and contract marriages and the difference between the two. Today we're going to be talking about the motives for marriage. What is your motive? The wrong motive will get you into a place that you don't want to be in. We get married for so many reasons, and you need to be sure why you're getting married. Why determines the strength of your marriage. All right, marriage is a lifelong commitment, and you do not want to enter it with for all the wrong reasons. You don't. You want to be able to check yourself. You have to be circumspect, check, ask yourself questions. But if you marry for the right reasons, you will have a good time. But if you marry for the wrong reasons, it won't be nice. All right. So is it love? Is it partnership? Is it commitment? Or is it just keeping up with the glam, keeping up with the Joneses, ticking the boxes? Milestones that you should have reached at a certain age. You need to ask yourself those questions. Be sure why you're doing what you're doing before you say I do. Very important. And so I'd like to reel off the real reasons and motives for you to get married as against the wrong ones. All right. So the real ones: companionship and partnership. You need to know that this person is someone I like to be with. This person is someone that is my companion. All right. You have genuine love for the person, and you are committed to the person. You're not just married because it's okay to marry, or it's time to marry, or you can marry. All right. You have shared values and purpose. That's a very important reason to marry someone. If you're marrying someone that you guys don't have the same values, you're going to have a very rocky experience. And so you need to be careful why you're doing what you're doing. Remember that this is somebody that you're going to grow emotionally with, and you're going to grow spiritually with. You need to understand that that's what's going to happen, and you are open to that happening between the two of you. Sexual purity and fulfillment, that is, your sex is part of your relationship. All right, and you're going to be living for the rest of your life having sex with this person. Is one of the things that you're getting married for. And then you both have the desire to build a strong family. All right, a marriage built on family values and a God-centered home is what you're trying to build. If you both have that same commitment, then you're good to go. But if you're not sure that this is the commitment that both of you have to the relationship, you need to pause and ask yourself why. And you're not talking for your partner, you're talking for yourself. All right, motives are, you check your own motives. When you check your motives and they are right, then you now ask the other person, what are your motives? Are you truly interested in marrying me? Is this really what you want from your life? And once you can say yes, then go ahead. But if you're not sure, please pause and wait for the right time. Wait for the time when you have conviction that you're doing it for the right reasons. What are all the wrong reasons? Okay, pressure from family and society. Do you know that when you're single at a certain age, even society begins to treat you with disdain? Okay, so that's something that you have to deal with, especially as a woman. All right, pressure from family. Every time your mom goes for a wedding, she comes back and starts to talk about when it will be your turn. When aunties see you, they will say, okay, when will it be your turn? And everybody's trying to judge your reasons for not being married. And that pressure is a lot. It's not subtle. It's a lot of pressure. And it makes you think, okay, this is the one, let me just quickly settle with him or her. All right, it is more, this pressure thing and motives, it's a bit more serious with the women, even though men also have wrong motives for getting married. It happens both ways, but women are under a lot more pressure concerning it than men are. All right, so don't allow pressure from anybody, parents, family, cousins, aunties. Don't allow them put you under that pressure to get married. All right, getting married to please others will only make you unhappy. It's just a matter of time. You discover I've entered the wrong place, and getting out is not as easy as people think. It's not. Some people are afraid of loneliness. Why are you afraid of loneliness? Why are you lonely? You're a child of God. What is making you lonely? What are you doing with yourself? There's so many things that you can do as a single person that you cannot do once you get married. You can no longer do it. I was once counseling a couple who was in class with us, and the husband couldn't understand. It was a premarital class. The husband couldn't understand why he couldn't go out every Friday evening with the boys anymore. Once you're married, you can't go out with the boys every Friday. Maybe once a month, but not every Friday anymore, because there's now somebody in the house with you. So there are things you cannot do when you get married that you can do now. You can work hard and grow up the ladder now that you're single. You can get all accreditations you want as per your career now that you're single. You can get a master's and get another master's now that you're single. You can learn skills now that you're single. You can try businesses out now that you're single. There's so much you can do. You can volunteer in places that you can't do when you get married and have children. So there's so much. Get busy and stop being lonely. Get busy and stop being. Ask the Holy Spirit how to go. He's your friend and he will not allow you to be lonely if you will ask him. So please, don't allow the fear of loneliness. No. Because once you feel a sense of loneliness, it means that your self-worth is not in a good place. It means that your sense of personal fulfillment is not in a good place. You need to build that up. In fact, you can't go into marriage feeling the way you're feeling. Loneliness, no, that's not a reason to get married at all. All right? Fear of infertility, this one is for the girls. My biological clock is ticking. Who is the one in charge of that biological clock? Who? Thank God that these days science has given us many more options. You're not in a desperate place anymore. You can take one of the options. All right? But at the end of the day, people have tried IVF and it failed. People have tried things and they failed. People have gotten married at 22 and they didn't have children until they're 30. People have gotten married at 24. They didn't have children until they were 50. So there are no guarantees with this thing. You have to trust God all the way. That's why you're a believer. You're a believer. The just shall live by faith, and you live by faith, not by sight. So yes, ideally, people would want to be married in their 20s, yes. But perchance you're in your 30s, your mid-30s, even your 40s, the Lord has a plan. Stay busy while you are expecting him to fulfill his end of the bargain. Stay busy. Get occupied. There's a lot to do in the kingdom. Do as much as you can, and you'll be shocked what God will bring your way. All right? So, fear of infertility is not a reason to get married, because you have no control over fertility. You have none. So you better trust God so that he takes you through that journey. Okay? Financial security. If I marry him, he will take care of me. If I marry her, I'll be able to latch on to what she has. Please. That is the wrongest reason to get married, because money can have wings and fly away. Someone who used to be wealthy now, just one thing happens and it's all over. You can no longer live in those luxury flats. You can no longer, things just happen. So you cannot marry because of money. You can't marry a man because he has money and that's your major motivation. No. You can't marry a woman because she has something you want. You know, in these days of Japa, women having passports make them hot cake. You can't want that, and because of that, now want to marry her. No. Those are not good reasons to marry. They are very fraudulent reasons to marry. So please, especially if you're a believer and you're listening to me, please don't do that. Don't do that. Emptiness is what you get out of it. Nothing. Nothing. Don't do that. All right? What about those that think, oh, he's so handsome. Oh, she's so pretty. Look at those curves. Look at that complexion. Look at that. All those things can change. What, you know, we have passed that place. So now we go for reunions, and our reunions 25 years and above after school. And you see those boys that we were amongst in school. You see them now with pot bellies. They are looking so funny. And you're looking, how did I ever think this guy was handsome? Meanwhile, he was handsome in his day. But life has happened to him. The bags have become one big pot belly. The lady who used to be all that, she's now in size 20, size 16, 18. Meanwhile, she was the selenge in her day. So please, let's not make mistakes. Men bald, even women bald. As we approach your 60s, your hairline begins to recede. And all those things that you thought were beautiful, all you have to do is one pregnancy. She gets dark, her nose gets wide, you know, she puts on weight, and before you know what's happening, that person you saw. There's more to marriage than how good people look. So please be careful that you don't end up with things that fade and then you are disappointed. Character, commitment to sustain marriage, those are the things that matter, not how they look. And I'm not saying you should not marry someone that pleases you in terms of how they look, but that cannot be your primary reason. That cannot be such a source of excitement to you, because it will change. It's just a matter of time. It will change. It won't remain the same. It might not necessarily be terrible, but it will not remain the same. So you need to be mindful of that, okay? You need to be mindful of that. Some people want to just escape from family. You want to escape from your family, and therefore the first person that comes along. Marriage cannot be an escape plan. No. If you want to leave your family, leave. If you don't like your family life, get out. You are an adult. You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay. Well, there are options. You can leave town. You can go to another town, get a job in another town, and then you'll be free for life. Okay? And then you can now marry the right person. Don't allow your family pressures be the thing that push you out of home. No. And I understand it perfectly, because I've been there. At the time, I remember at the time I got married, my family life was at its lowest ebb. It was terrible. My parents were fighting every moment. Things were just not okay. My father had been through we had a fire, a family fire, a house fire, that we lost everything. And so life just seemed to be tumbling downwards. It was not nice. But I wasn't going to let that be the reason I get married. No. How? How would you do that? You will get into trouble if you do that. So please don't do that. Okay? Now, because everyone else is getting married, all the girls in class, all my friends, every day I keep doing bridesmaid. I'm not getting married. Every day I keep doing some kind of groom, and I'm not getting married myself. When am I going to be the groom? When am I going to be the bride? Wow. Please don't let that be the pressure points. Don't, because you will ultimately become the bride and the groom. You will. It's just time. So can we wait for it? But while we're waiting, let's get busy. Okay? Don't rush. Don't compare yourself to other people. Everybody has their life to live. Don't do that. Don't do that, so that you don't make decisions that you will regret. Don't do that. Okay? So the motives for marriage are very important. Some women think, I just want to have children. It's not even that this is my biological time. No, I just want to have children. I don't want to be unmarried and have children. I want to be married and have children. So when the children come, there's honor with it. But once the children come, that's it. Their motivation is done. Anything that happens in the marriage after that, they're out. That happens a lot of the time in our society. So you have to be careful. First, you have to be mindful of your motives, and you have to confirm the motives of the person you're getting married to. Be sure. Be sure, because if you have right motives and they don't have right motives, we have a problem in the horizon. So please be careful. Okay? Thank you so much for listening to me. I'll be back with the next podcast in this series. And meanwhile, take time to listen to the first two and this one, and ponder, think, ask yourself questions. Okay? God bless you, and bye-bye.